Today we are on the search for context clues. Has this ever happened to you? Sammy is reading. He comes to a word he doesn't understand. What should he do? He should look for context clues. There are 5 main types of context clues. The first one is the definition or explanation clues. Sometimes the author defines the word for the reader soon after it is used in a sentence. Here's an example. A cacophony of noises surrounded the group of people. Cacophony is a mixture of harsh sounds. So in this case, you may not know what cacophony means, but the author has defined it in the next sentence. Another form of a context clue is a synonym or restatement clue. Sometimes the author uses a synonym or restates the word in a simpler way. Remember that a synonym means similar to or the same as. An example of this is as the cacophony came through the phone line, he pulled it away from his ear to lessen some of the blaring racket. So in this case, he calls it the cacophony, and then he calls it blaring racket. That is a synonym. Another way is by using an antonym or a contrast clue. Sometimes the author presents the opposite meaning somewhere nearby so that 2 words can be contrasted. An example of this is after spending the peaceful day at the spa, the woman was shocked by the cacophony that hit her when she opened the door to the daycare center. So here you'll see that she says a peaceful day at the spa, and then she's shocked by the cacophony. That is the opposite meaning. One is peaceful and one is shrill and disturbing. Another kind of clue is an inference clue. Sometimes the word is not clarified in the same sentence. The reader must look for clues and make connections to their own experiences or what they already know about the topic. So in this case, the word is not plainly spelled out, and you have to read the words around it and make an inference. An example of this is the cacophony of war was challenging for some of the soldiers to handle. There were many nights when it was difficult for them to sleep. And if you look at the thought bubble over here, it says, I know that sometimes if there is a lot of noise, I can't sleep. I bet there is a lot of noise from guns during war. I think cacophony must be a horrible type of noise. So you're using the clues around that word to determine the meaning. Another form of clue, and the last example, is example clues. Sometimes the author includes examples to explain the meaning of a word. A cacophony of owl hoots, chirping crickets, and howling wolves surrounded us. I couldn't wait to return home to my own bed. So in this case, the author kind of draws a picture for you, and it illustrates that a cacophony must be a lot of noise. Let's search for word meanings using context clues. Amy has autophobia. You will never find her at the top of a mountain. Autophobia. What do you think that might mean? I'll give you just a second. What do you think autophobia might mean? It says she has it and you'll never find her at the top of a mountain. Autophobia is the fear of heights. That's why you'll never find her at the top of a mountain. How did you use context clues to help you determine the meaning? Here's another one. It is somewhat surprising that Christy has motophobia. After all, she loves butterflies. Motophobia. What do you think motophobia means? Motophobia is the fear of moths. How did you use context clues to help you determine the meaning? In this case, I'm kind of looking at the word itself and I'm saying, that kind of sounds like a moth. And then here it says she loves butterflies. Moths are kind of like butterflies. So it seems crazy or surprising, like the sentence said, that she would be fearful of moths when she loves butterflies. That makes sense. Jamie has amaxophobia. He has a fear of riding in cars. What do you think amaxophobia means? Based on that sentence, I was able to determine that amaxophobia is the fear of riding in cars. How did you use context clues to help you determine the meaning? In this case, the writer of the sentence actually defines the word in the following sentence. He has a fear of riding in cars. My sister will not go to the circus. She has coulrophobia. When she sees a person with white makeup, a big red nose, crazy hair, and gigantic feet, she is frightened beyond belief. What do you think coulrophobia means? Based on this sentence and the words around it, I can determine that coulrophobia is the fear of clowns. How did you use context clues to help you determine the meaning? So in this case, I had to make an inference. It doesn't come right out and say that she fears clowns, but it does explain what a clown is because it talks about the white makeup, the big red nose, the crazy hair, and the gigantic feet. Now let's let you have a try. Before the game yesterday, Luke was active and excited. Today, however, he seems rather melancholy. Which of the following words means about the same as melancholy? I'll give you just a second. The answer to this is gloomy. So in this case, this type of context clue, the author is using an antonym to help you understand what melancholy means. Because it talks about how yesterday he was active and excited, but today, however, he's melancholy. It wouldn't have used the word however if he was still feeling active and excited. So that tells me his mood changed and now he's feeling gloomy. Now try this one. That movie looks intriguing to me. I want to see it. Which of the following words means about the same as intriguing? Is it interesting, ugly, boring, or funny? I'll give you just a second. In this example, I was able to use my inferencing skills to determine which one means about the same. Because if a movie is intriguing and you want to see it, does that mean you think it would be boring or ugly? No, it means that it is interesting. I am very indecisive when it comes to shopping for clothes. My mom hates it when I keep returning to the dressing room to try on the same clothes over and over. Which of the following phrases means about the same as indecisive? A, not wanting to waste money. B, not caring what decision is made. C, quick to make a decision. Or D, unable to make a decision. Which type of context clue did you use? If you are indecisive, that means you are unable to make a decision. In this case, we can read the words around it to come to that determination. The author says, my mom hates it when I keep returning to the dressing room to try on the same clothes over and over. That doesn't sound like somebody who's quick to making a decision. That doesn't sound somebody who doesn't care, and it certainly doesn't have anything to do with wasting money. It is simply this person is unable to make a decision. Cole is an inquisitive student. He asks many questions. Which of the following words means about the same as inquisitive? In this case, the author actually defines what the underlined word means. Inquisitive means questioning. We know this because the author says he asks many questions. It was the first day of summer vacation and the kids felt liberated. No more homework, no more tests, and no more alarm clocks for 2 long months. Which of the following words means about the same as liberated? Based on the words around it and the examples that the author presented, I can determine that liberated means free. Because this student is on the first day of summer vacation. No homework, no tests, no alarm clock, and nothing. This person feels free. He is a rather tenacious individual. He can be quite stubborn at times. Which of the following words means about the same as tenacious? In this case, the author actually defines the word in the next sentence. So if somebody is tenacious, they are stubborn. That cartoon character is a rather menacing villain. Which of the following words means about the same as menacing? If someone is a villain, that means they're not a very good person. So using the words around my underlined word, I can come to the determination that menacing means evil. Because I'm not going to call a villain practical or impatient or strong. I would refer to them as evil. Let's review. Can you name all 5 types of context clues from the beginning of this lesson? The first type is definition. The next is synonyms, antonym, examples, and inferencing. I just realized something. The first letters of these words can be moved around to form a word. Do you see the word? I know they're all out of order, but the letters are still the same. I, D, E, A, S. Ideas. When I think of context clues, I can use the word ideas to help me recall the 5 types of context clues.